Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you, talking to you about you and your business on this Tuesday morning. As always, we got a lot lined up, including George Gilder, one of the great social philosophers of the past 50 years. He wrote the book Wealth and Poverty, which became the Bible of the Reagan administration. Ronald Reagan required every senior cabinet member and senior staff member to read a copy of that book even before they got into the administration. I'm sure some of them cheated because politicians are famous for doing that, but it kind of shows you how I can't think of another author who had that big of an imprint on an administration as he did on the Reagan administration. His book, Men in Marriage, which was originally published as Sexual Suicide, talked about the impact that marriage has on young men. Just a phenomenal thinker, and we got him for 2 segments on today's program. But also, we get to spend some time with my good friend Susan Ahlstrom. She's a phenomenal social media expert. We got her on here on this Tuesday morning talking about just that. She's with a company called JP William. That's jpwilliam.com. Welcome to the program.
Oh, good morning. Thank you.
Very glad to have you on. So real quickly, first of all, kind of give us the elevator speech about JP William.
Yes, well, JP William is a social media marketing company that's located in the Washington, D.C. area. We serve clients all over the country and, of course, the world. We have no limits now with the Internet, and we really help companies find their voice in social media. You know, it's noisy and crowded out there in social media. So you have to find a voice if you're going to sell to clients.
No question about it. So tell us a little bit about what you got lined up for us today. Kind of tee it off for us.
Yeah, well, again, we're sticking to this idea of what is your company's voice. And you as the owner or the president or the operating officer of a company, you really need to hone in on your marketing strategy to respond to your clients where the clients are. Now, we know that the clients are on social media. We know that. So they're on Facebook, they're on LinkedIn, they're on Twitter. In fact, a recent study showed that 27% of our internet time is spent on social media networks. So that means if 16 minutes out of every hour you're on the internet, you're surfing around social media networks. So we know that clients are there. Now it's a matter of we have to sell them. So what do you do with your business? You have to define who you are. Mm-hmm. There's a great example I have to share with you. There is a ice machine company here in the U.S. What is interesting about ice machines that make ice for restaurants? Well, there's nothing inherently interesting about it other than the fact that the little ice nuggets that this machine produces are really great for crunching and eating. So they determined that their marketing campaign was going to be Love the Nug, the little nugget of ice. So this ice machine company that has nothing really inherently interesting about it now has this booming social media campaign called Love the Nug that's all based on the shape of their ice.
Yeah,
so that's what I mean about getting creative.
I prefer crushed ice over any other kind of ice.
Right.
And so I think it actually alters the taste. I know that doesn't make sense, but I think the texture alters your perception of the taste. I'm a huge crushed ice fan. So, yeah, well, I think that's a pretty clever campaign, actually.
Yes, and, you know, there's also, here's another idea, another company, it's a chain of stores in the Northeast, and they have a very unusual-looking flag that is part of their brand. Well, they've asked their customers to take this flag everywhere they go around the world, take a picture, and post it on social media. So now this store that is only known in the Northeast just by location now has a huge social media following because its clients are taking this flag all over the world, from the Great Wall of China to the top of the Eiffel Tower. People are posting pictures of this flag, this company flag. So there's a lot of things that a business can do to really get creative in social media.
Yeah. I think of the is your cheese mature enough? Have you seen that? The whole cheese, was it Cheez-It commercials? That to me seems to be in the same vein of this.
Yes.
So, yeah, absolutely. I love that. You know, might as well figure out a creative bent. Engagement's really important in messaging as well, isn't it? It's not just this one-sided commercials constantly bombarding people, but you got to figure out how to engage. How do companies like the ones you gave examples for, how can they engage?
Yeah, well, yes, once you have people paying attention to your company with social media, then you have to make sure that you have an offering. And that's always the most important thing, is that today, due to the fact that our economy has been so poor for many years now, unfortunately, companies really need to respond to clients' need for a deal. Some type of special offer, a discount, a coupon. People are looking for that on social media. So once you get your client's attention, then give them something. It could also be a free copy of a book or a white paper, but give your client something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's 4 rules, I think, in good engagement with, like advertising, for example. They talk about, interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. And you got to do all 4 of those, or you're just got another humdrum ad.
Exactly. And you want your clients coming back to check with you often, not just when they need you, but because they want to find out what you're doing. So give them something to talk about.
Yeah. I think it's pretty imperative that people develop a message, a single message that kind of overdrives all of their other social media activity. Otherwise, the people just won't know what you're known for. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely. And be consistent. That's why my company was born, JP William, because businesses don't have a lot of time to put into this effort, yet it's essential to operate in the market today with a full-blown social media presence. So you can hire a company like mine for just a few $100s a month, less than an employee would even cost, to really keep your message going, keep it consistent, keep it relevant, and keep your clients engaged.
Well, we use them over there at usdailyreview.com and priceofbusiness.com. Can't imagine not having someone like you in our corner, because we've got too many things going on, and sometimes we get fuzzy in our messaging, and you keep us on track. And again, it's Susan Ahlstrom. She's with a great company called JP William. Want to learn more about them? Check them out at jpwilliam.com. Thanks so much, as always, Susan.
Thank you very much. See you next month.
You bet. All right. We do get her on at least once a month to talk about what's happening in social media to make sure you're taking care of your own social media. Love talking to her. I'm Kevin Price. You're listening to The Price of Business. When we come back, we're going to have much more for you, including a great conversation I've been looking forward to with George Gilder.